60 years of news, because this is Face the Nation. Good morning again. Yesterday, pro-Russian militants seized police stations in eastern Ukraine. There is chaos and confusion today. Ukrainian officials say gunfire was exchanged. Katie Stollard of Sky News is there and filed this report for Sky News by phone.
Yeah, we're actually in the centre of Slavyansk. We've just been at the police headquarters, which remains firmly in the hands of those armed protesters. They are openly carrying AK-47s, there's pistols in holsters on their hips, and they remain firmly in control of that building. They are reinforcing their barricades. There was a new delivery of tyres while we were filming. They have also filled sandbags, secured them with barbed wire, and they are preparing to defend themselves. People are walking in the streets. There is a crowd in front of the police headquarters cheering "well done," cheering on the men who are inside, chanting for a referendum and chanting Donbass and Crimea are with Russia.
And we are joined now by Senator John McCAIN, who was recently in Ukraine and more recently was sound asleep when we got a hold of him at 6 o'clock this morning and told him about these developments and asked him to join us. Senator, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, Bob.
Is this the tipping point for something here? What's going on here? What's going on?
I think it's a result, very frankly, of our result to enact anything really meaningful or important as a result of Vladimir Putin's incursion and annexation of the Crimea, which was predictable, and what he's doing now is predictable. The question,
do you think he's behind this, these demonstrations going in there?
There is no doubt in anybody's mind, even though he would with a straight face tell the world's press that it was people who bought uniforms when they went into Crimea. I mean, this is...
The State Department seems to agree with you on that.
Of course. I mean, there's without a doubt. The question is now, what do we do and what does he do? It's obvious that he is encouraged by the fact that we sanctioned a few people and suspended him. They didn't even throw him out of the G8. And unless we act with firmness and strength, including beginning, in my view, with giving Ukrainians some weapons to defend themselves and some very, very severe sanctions that may cost our European friends and us something financially in the short term. But the other thing is, the Ukrainians will fight. They didn't fight in Crimea, and probably not. But if he starts moving in further encroachment in this way into eastern Ukraine, they will fight. We ought to at least, for God's sake, give them some weapons light weapons with which to defend themselves. So far, this administration has not only not done that, but they won't even share some intelligence with the Ukrainian government. I can tell you from my conversations with people in the government, they feel abandoned by us, and rightfully so. This is shameful.
Military officials estimate that the Russians have close to 50,000 troops, we're told now, on the Ukrainian border. They say those forces could move in less than 12 hours if they chose to. Satellite photos showing Russian jets parked tip to tip, wingtip to wingtip, and tanks and infantry fighting trucks lined up in fields. Do you think they're actually going to move into Ukraine?
I think he's weighing the cost-benefit right now. The options that he has continue this fomenting this discontent, which, by the way, every day that goes on prevents the government in Kiev from making the changes and reforms and an election coming up. He's already dislocating and disturbing them and their ability to restore the economy. But one is to continue this and have kind of a de facto autonomous area. The other is to go all the way to Kiev. Some believe that. The other scenario is to go south and go across to Moldova, where he has 1,400 Russian troops already in Transnistria, thereby making Ukraine a landlocked country. His actions will be gauged by our reactions. But he's obviously, with all his troops massed there, he is keeping those options open. And for us to keep talking about off-ramps, look, right now he's going full speed ahead down the freeway. and there is no tangible evidence of him having to pay a significant penalty. And by the way, severe penalties of sanctions can have an effect on their economy. They have a very fragile economy. It's the 13th largest. It's a gas station masquerading as a country. So there are many actions we can take. But so far, there's been a lot of talk and no action. Remember what Lenin said? The capitalists will hang themselves and we'll sell them the rope to do it. Well, with the two former chancellors have justified and apologized for Putin's takeover of Crimea. So we've got to lead. And where is the President of the United States? Shouldn't the President of the United States be speaking forcefully and strongly? And didn't the President say if they carried out further actions, there would be further sanctions? So far, we haven't heard anything.
Well, the Secretary of State said there will be additional consequences if they don't de-escalate. But
they haven't de-escalated. In fact, they have now fomenting this, using their GRU, the Secret Service, Secret Special Forces people that are fomenting this this discontent. People in eastern Ukraine don't want this, even though they are leaning sort of pro-Russian. They don't want this kind of thing. They want a government of Ukraine, and unfortunately, I can tell you from talking to them, they feel that we are not giving them the support that they need.
Senator, thank you so much. We know you're headed back into that territory later today. Many thanks.